press
这场新闻
conference
发布会呢，
with
我
our
们请
emergency
4位
response
同志向
rescue
大家通报
headquarters
目
We
前
have invited
现场
4
救援的
colleagues
最新进展情
to
况，
brief you
并回答大家的提
the
问。
latest information about the
这4位发布人
on-site
是
rescue and also take your
指挥
questions.
部副
They
总指
are
挥、烟台市委副书记、市长
Vice
陈飞同
Director
志，
General of the headquarters and also Mayor of
烟
Yantai
台市
Chen
应急
Fei,
管理局局长孙树福同志。
DG Sun Shufu of the Administration of Emergency Response,
杜宾健同志，专家组成
and the
员
Chief
山
Engineer
东金建
Du Bingjian,
设计工程有限公司总经理马吉祥同志。
General
首先，
Manager
我们请
Ma
陈飞同
Jixiang.
志通报救援情况。
First of all, I'd like to give the floor to Mr. Chen to bring us the latest I'd like to say thank you for your care and attention attached to the whole process of this rescue. Since yesterday, the rescue of our gold mine workers have already yielded a lot of results. Yesterday, by 1:55 p.m., we have reached to the miners and we have also transported food and supplies to them. And this morning, we also raised the
下面，我从4个方面介绍一下现场救援的最新情况。第一，前期救援的主要举措。事故发生以来，我们认真贯彻落实中央领导同志重要批示精神，按照省委省政府不惜一切代价、穷尽一切手段抢夺救援时间、争取被控矿工安全升井的要求，坚持人民至上、生命至上。在应急管理部工作组的大力支持指导下，省市县一体化应急救援指挥部争分夺秒，有力有序、有效地组织开展救援工作。第一，迅速集结最强资源力量，投入救援。我们应急管理部和山东省的领导同志亲自坐镇指挥，在全国救援专业力量队伍的有力支援下，现场迅速集结了最优秀的专家和最专业的力量，以及最先进的装备，高效有序地开展好施救工作。专家队伍方面，成立了由应急管理部
and also the leadership from Shandong
救
province.
援专业力量队伍的有力支援下，
With the support of a top team in China regarding the mining rescue task force as well as the
最
experts,
先进的装备，
with advanced
高效有序地
drilling
开展
equipment,
好施救工作。
conducted the on-site rescue work. Regarding the experts team,
矿山救援中心
we have the mining rescue team from the Ministry of Emergency Management and related the companies, the Shandong Emergency and Shandong the energy companies with around 30 experts. They are the
矿
veterans
山救援的经验
in the area of mining rescue.
发挥了
They play a key role in our rescue
现场
work.
研判指导，
They studied the situation on site and also laid out the plan.
国家矿山应急
Regarding
救
the
援
OSC
队
task force, we had around
中煤第五
the
建
a
设
team
有限
from
公司
the
山
fifth
东省
the mining companies and also the companies in Shandong regarding the first and the second rescue team and also the 6 teams from Shandong.
等专业救援队
In total,
和我们烟台
we
市
have the
消
a
防支
professional
队
rescue team as well as the firefighters, 15 rescue teams with 532 personnel,
救援装备
and around 388 equipment also involved on site. So we can see we have sufficient and professional personnel and equipment involved.
在应急管理部的大力支持下，
With the great support of the Ministry of Emergency Management from Shanxi, Anhui, and
获
Huainan,
取了最先进的钻
we
机设备，
got the professional drilling machines
在交通部
from
门的
these
指挥
places.
先
And
于
with
之
the
外
help of the transport authorities, all these equipment rushed to the site and start to the drilling work, and they made a great contribution in breaching the trapped miners in early time. Second, we will do everything we can to save all these trapped miners at any cost, because right now the drilling or the mines actually still under constructions. So actually, we also have the two plans happening at the same time. So
一是井筒清障，
first, we clean the
从1月
obstacles
12日开始
from
开
January
展
12th.
竖井井筒清障，
We actually started our clearance work to the shafts.
沿现有井筒
At the very
旋转
beginning, we
下方
actually
重新钻改，
did the placing the drilling pipes to the existing shafts.
打开
We hope that by placing the pipes, we can clean the obstacles and open the channels to reach the trapped miners. However,
左右，
to the depth of 360 meters underground, there were too many debris
使得我们的
in the
进
shafts,
一度受阻。
imposing the hurdles to our
钻改
work.
呢钻到这
The
个
drilling pipes,
井内的堆积物上
when
啊，因为它构成
reaching
清
these debris,
发挥不了作用，无法继续。
could not
但
move
是这一轮的
forward.
这个钻机
The
的
whole situation
钻
at underground actually is very complicated,
开辟了通风管路，
but that actually helped us to open the channel for ventilation. So actually we can bring the fresh air to the underground and also get the harmful gases out.
知道这个井啊，它是一个在建设中的，它是一个
So this, the gold mine actually still ongoing for construction. So the air actually ventilated in one way. We talk about a lot of the noxious gases such as carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide actually all stocked underground. So by getting the fresh air
下面将从井底
to the underground, so that also can help us to get these harmful gases out.
非常高。
So at the very
但是经
beginning,
过努力，现在
the harmful smokes actually quite dense.
井口
Right now, we can say
这些
that
指标都趋于正常。
so far we have reached safe
自1月
standards in
15
terms
日
of
20
these
日
gases underground.
我们这个清障工作，就是从我们钻机这
一度在距井口180米处受阻，这个地方形成了一个很厚的堆积层。
They
经过
have
多方努力，
encountered
打开
a
了这一
very
层。
heavy
那么
crust
从
zone
180 米
at a depth of
向下推
180
进
meters, starting by the depth
到
of
340
180
米处
meters
再
towards
次
the
遇
depth of 340
那么我
meters.
们目前的
Again,
工
they
作
are blocked.
已经从340米处推进
And
到了
currently, we have
350
moved
多米，
deeper from the depth of
正在继续向下
340
清障。
meters to a further
由于
depth of
堵塞物严
350 meters,
重堆
and
积
we are continuing
爆炸
with the
形成的
removal of the
冲击波
obstacles because we have
对
a
井
lot
内的
of
设施
accumulated
形成了严重的破坏
obstacles.
扭曲，各
So
种管件、
those
线缆
shocking waves of the blast have
器材碾成
created a lot of debris from
堆积在
the
一起。
steel
我们当前的
cables
清理
and
工
also
作
the pipes
是比
and
较
the
艰难的，
bars. And
这是我们
currently
清
we
土清
are
障的工作。
undertaking
第二，
a very heavy task in front of
为
those
打通新
removal
的生命通道，提高救援成功率，
missions for the
我们
obstacles.
从
And
全国
second, we
调集
are
高效
doing
能、
our best
高
to
性能
increase
钻
the
孔机
possibility
设
of
计施工
giving
救生
hope
孔，
to the
目
life-saving
前
mission.
6个
For
钻机
example, we
正在
are
施工，
drilling
其中
6
1号、5
channels
号钻
with
机
our 6 drilling
目标
machines. among
是
which
6 中
for the
段
number 1 and number 5, they are aiming at the
2、
section 6.
3、4、6号钻
For the
线
number
目标
2,
是
3,
中段。
4, and 6, they are aiming at the section 5.
大家知道，我们这还有一个示意图，待会儿我可以
As we know,
详细地讲一下
we also have a
各条线进展的这个。
chart here. Later on, we will talk about the latest development with the rescue in both
那么
sections.
6中段呢，
For the section 6,
我们最初的判断，这个地方有受困的状况。
our preliminary analysis
5中段
told us that there were 13 workers,
受困
and
后面我还有
the preliminary estimation about the section 5 were 9 people, but later on there were some changes.
加快
So currently 6 drilling machines are working round the clock
作业面、航道面。
in order to move towards the depth in both sections
截至今天
to
中午
save the
12
lives.
时，除了
By
1
midday,
号钻孔、3
That
号
means
钻
by 12
成都
o'clock
范
today,
围外
for
2号钻
number 1
以
and number
卡钻
3, we have
停留
realized
在
the
了
connection.
脚下
And for
420
number 2, the drilling machine
4号
is
钻
blocked at a depth
以钻
of
至
420 meters. For the number 4, they
5号钻
it
孔
reached
以钻至脚
in
下
depth of
201
540 meters,
6号
and
钻
number
孔
5 to in
以钻
depth
至
of
脚下
201 meters,
316
and number 6 to in depth of
同时，我们
316
正在
meters. At the same
启动
time,
7
we
号
have
和8号钻
also
相关的
activating number 7 and number 8 drilling machines, and we are also doing the geological investigation. Those preliminary preparations have already been accomplished. So in recent days, we're about to expect the adding up of the number 7 and number 8 drilling machines.
一是
Thirdly, we are
做好家
also
属
keeping up with the other efforts and work, for example, the collaboration and also the care for the family members of the trapped miners. In recent days, we have received the family members and we are accommodating them, and we can also helping them to ease a little bit their anxiety. We are briefing them on a regular basis about the latest development, and also we are giving them the psychological help. Those family members, they are supportive and they have also showcased a great
当前疫情防控
degree
形
of
势
comprehension.
十分复杂。我们的救援
Currently,
力
we
量
know that we
来
are
自
facing a
全国
big
各地
challenge from the COVID-19,
在抓好
and
救
we
援
have
的
also
同时
mobilized the
加强
rescuers
疫
from
情防控
four corners of
我
the
们专门
country.
成立了
While
疫情防控
rescuing the trapped
做好
miners,
有
we
关
are
的检验
also
检测工
keeping
作。
a close eye on the COVID-19 prevention and control. So today we have set up an office for the fight against the COVID-19 on a regular basis. We are also doing the nucleic acid test on all the people working on the site, and until now there's no discovery of positive cases.
将严格依纪依
Our
法依规开展
provincial
事故调查，绝对不会
headquarters
让任何一个
have
细节漏
already
掉。
carried out the investigation according to the law and regulations. We will not miss one single detail, and we will
客观
not
公正地做好事故
let
调查。
anyone
同时，我们也
that
将
should
深刻
be
地
held
汲取教训，
accountable missed by the process. At the same time, we will also learn the lesson
换的大排查。
and ensure that in the future no similar events or accidents will happen again.
就前期我们的主要
And this is the first information I'd like to share
通
with
报
you.
的第二项内容，1号和3号钻孔
Second,
最新的救援情况，
For the
这也可能是
drilling
大家
channels
最
number
为关
1
心
and
的
number
事
3, the latest information,
第
you
一
must be
，3号钻孔的情况。
quite attached to that. First of all, about the number
3号钻
3
孔
drilling
自
channel.
自起钻开
For the
始，
drilling channel number 3, since the starting of the
但
drill,
是钻
it's
至
working
210米
without big
位置
challenges.
时，经测
But
量
when it
发
reached
生
to
了
a
偏
depth
差
of 210
偏差
meters,
达到
there
7.3米
is a problem
后
because
经
it
纠偏后
went skew
由国家矿山
by
隧道应急救
3.7
援大
meters.
地特勘
And
队
then we have made a
于
correction
1月17日13时55分定向观测。
by
这口气
13 hour 55 minutes. On the 15th of January, we have realized the connection of this channel with the tunnel. So this is no easy job, the whole process. After going skill, it has been corrected and continued with the correct direction. And this channel number 3 have reached to the section 5 on the 15th of January. Currently, we can make sure that we have 11 trapped miners with section 5, 1 person in section 6, and the status quo of the other 10 is still unclear. Considering that those miners are trapped for more than 1 week and they are very fragile in their physical conditions. So according to our analysis, we have already initiated the supplies. We have realized the 2 rounds of supplies, 1 for medication and another for the food. And now we have already given a 2-day supplies to the trapped miners. Our headquarters have also set up the communication team, of which I'm the leader. There are personnel for the medication and communication working on 24 hours a day in order to keep a close eye on the miners trapped. And upon that news of live signals underneath the surface, when we heard that knock on the drilling pipe from underneath the surface, everyone so moved, because we know that every life underneath the surface, every life of those trapped miners, they are very precious. After receiving that live signal, we have to first of all lift that drilling up and then put a casing pipe. But by then, we only know that there are people alive there, but we didn't know what is the status quo of the people trapped there. So after all the preparations, and considering their fragile status quo, we have lowered the first batch of supplies. For example, the maintenance solution, the torches, and also communication tools. We have lowered those supplies for the first time, and then we have also received the signals from underneath the surface. They are making a response to our side. After the first action of the lowering down with the supplies, we have set up the telecommunication wires, and now we have already received the message from underneath the surface. They told us that they were 11 people in the section 5, and there was another person in section 6. For that one trapped in section 6, he has communicated once with section 5, but recently the communication has been cut. After the connection between the channel 3 and the tunnel, we have set up a specialized communication team in order to ensure the safety of the whole shaft, and we have also elaborated a complete plan to stay in touch with the trapped miners. We would like to make sure that the whole channel for information is unhindered, and also they have enough food and supplies. That is for the drill tunnel number 3. And what about the number 1? Number 1 channel is aiming at the section 6. We have already reached a depth of 628 meters, and the connection has been made and realized early this morning. And we have also broken the record for the depth. After the connection, according to our preliminary plan, we have not on the drilling pipe, but we have not received any response. And later, we have also lowered down a detector for live signals. Until now, the work is going on with our detection machine. But with our preliminary analysis, with the signal sent back by our detector, the accumulated water down there with the depth of the number 1 and in the section 6 is better than expected. Later on, we will also take actions accordingly to accelerate our rescue work with the section 6 with our number 1 rescuing machine. Because in this area we have very complicated geological conditions, this means a great degree of difficulty for our rescuers. First of all, as is mentioned before, we have reached a depth of 629 meters. By drilling to rescue the people, this is a record depth. And once we have gone skew and later we have been corrected, this means that our professionals and our experts, they have played a really important role. Secondly, for the rescue work has been designed on the science basis. We have reached the point according to our original plan, because in the very beginning we were very worried, because for the tunnels, the original map we received, was it precise or not? If it is not a very precise map to describe the tunnel, then it's for sure that we will go skew and we cannot reach the people. But luckily, this map is very precise. And thirdly, it's quite rare for us to activate at the same time so many drilling machines. Until now, we have 6. And we have also mobilized so many people at the same time, and we have also opened the green channels for the transportation of the distant drilling machines from other provinces to our province. And fourth is that we have grabbed this window period and we have overcome a lot of difficulties. We have 2 solutions at the same time, one for drilling and one for the removal of the obstacles in the shafts. So the dual solutions have guaranteed the whole process of this rescue work. And for this rescue work, we have mobilized and gathered the best teams and the best experts and also the best machineries. So that is a short review of the work we have accomplished. The third thing I'd like to share with you is the current challenges and difficulties we face. There are 3 types of them. First of all, we are running into a bottleneck in terms of the removal of the obstacles, because there were a lot of obstacles accumulated inside the shafts and they are intertwined. For example, the electricity cables and also the tunnels for the transportation of the water, they are intertwined and the debris are blocked inside the shafts. It means a very long cycle for the total removal of all the obstacles. Previously, we have used the hoisting cage. It means that we send people down there underneath the surface and they are removing the obstacles manually. But it's very low efficiency process. Currently, we are mobilizing new machineries to remove those obstacles, and we have accelerated the process of the removal. Every day we are doing the daily observation, and now the workers, they are going down the shafts by 3 shifts a day, and after the delivery of the work report, 1 shift will be made. Second is that during the drilling, we are facing the complicated geological conditions. First of all,
破
for
碎
the
地层极易抗
mining layer, they are amid
二是岩层
the
结
crushed
里
zone,
裂隙比较发育，
and
导致
then
钻
there
体
are
容易
a
偏斜。
lot of
三是钻
well-developed
井内出水比较多，
voids inside those layers, so it means that it's quite easy for us to go skew,
四是靠
and
近
then
矿
we
体
will
的
be
围岩多是
traveling
大
through the water holding zone, and it means that there will be sometimes the filling of the water into the shaft.
这个地方啊，花岗岩非常硬。第三个困难是井
And
下的
also
水
we
上
are
带
running into
来风
the
险。
granite. It means that those
根
are
据
very
钻探资料
hard
和
stones to
武
go
中段
through,
被困人员
because usually it's with the
等
granite
信息
that we will have the
井下
gold.
透水的问题，
And then according to the feedbacks of our trapped miners,
在加剧，
currently
对被困人
more
员的
water
生存
are pouring inside their
下一步啊，在保
trapped
障生
place.
命工作
This
当中的
is a
方式
quite big threat to
及时
their
排水是
life. So while maintaining the survival of the trapped miners, we also have to
今天中午
come up
省
with
委
new
书记刘
ideas
嘉
of the
毅
evacuation
再
of
次
the
赶赴
water.
现场，就下部救援
By
工作
noon
做了
today,
明确要求。我们
the
时刻牵挂
General
被困
Secretary
矿工
of
者生命
our
安全，
province
将继续坚
has
持人
visited
民
the
至上、
site,
生命至上，不惜一切代
declaring
价，
that we will continue
穷
to
尽一切手
put
段，
people
发扬
and
连续
also
作
their
战，为
safety on top of
同
our
时间赛跑，
gender. We will
争分
continue
夺
to
秒
work
做好
around the
救援
clock
工
and
作，
race against the
尽全力
time.
达
We
到
will
最
try
大
to
的救援
seize
效果。
every minute to save the
一是
life of the
全力以
people so
赴
that
做
we
好
can
受困人员
maximize
救
the
援保障
rescue.
及接续搜救工作，
At the same
统筹公
time,
安、
we
消
will
防、卫
continue
健、
with the
通讯
search
等
and
力量，
rescue
保障
work
3号
for
换
the
钻
missing
换团会
miners to make sure
全力做好受困人员的营养支持、
that the
心理干预、
people can be
医疗救治，
protected and also
使他们
supported
尽快恢复正常。
with the Section
同时，
6
在
and
科学
Section
论证、
5,
确保
and
安
we
全
will
的
try
情
to
况下，
restore the
我们呢
physical capabilities of the trapped
依托
miners.
已建立联系的被困人员，
At the same time, we will also
一起
need
上
to stay in communication with the trapped miners, and we have to listen to the opinions of multiple
通过
parties
1号
to
钻
find the
井，
best way
也将
to
继续开展。
search and find those missing trapped miners.
二是改进
And
数据
for
生
the
长方式。
drilling machine number 1, we
16
will
日下午
continue
调整
to
了清障
use
作业方案
the，machineries
加
to
工安装
find
了双层
those
吊挂，
missing people.
利用稳车挂吊挂，
And today we have also used the machineries and also the hoisting tools with the steel cables
下层吊帆
to stabilize the hoisting cages
吊笼提升的影响。
so that the personnel
新的吊挂
going
过
down
去的灌笼
will not
作
be
业效率
disturbed.
提高3到5倍。三是
So
提高
today
灌
the
笼
new
速度
machineries for the removal of the obstacles will be 3 to 5 times more efficient than the previous hoisting cages.
5号钻孔依托
If
原3号
necessary,
钻
we are about to enlarge the
尽
opening
快
hole.
进行纠偏。6号
For the
钻
drilling
孔
machine
做好
number 5, we will continue to correct the skew direction, and for the drilling machine number 6, we will also try to seize this window time and also evacuate more water from underneath the surface and try to race against the time and win more time for the trapped miners and also do more ventilation to give them fresh air. So that is all for my briefing part. And now the floor is open for your questions. Please first identify yourself before raising a question. The floor is open now. Thank you. I'm from China Daily. Could you please tell us about the number 1 channel? After making the connection, have you found any signs of life and have you established any communication? After the connection, you have discovered the existence of 11 trapped miners and
首
also
先1号钻孔
one
刚才已经发布
in
了。
Section
今天
6.
上午
What is the status quo of them?
目前
For the number one drilling machine, after making the connection this morning, we have already knocked on the drilling pipe, and we have also lowered down the detector for the sign of life. Yet until now, we have not received any response or detected any sign of life. But we will not just give up our efforts, because for the section 6, the tunnel is very long. We cannot just exclude any possibilities, and we will stick to that site and stick to our process of rescue until the last moment. We are continuing with our efforts of rescue and search. As to the number 3 drilling machine, yesterday we talked on the phone with the trapped miners. The 11 trapped miners, they are very fragile in terms of physical conditions because they've been trapped for more than 1 week. We have talked on the phone in order to know their status quo, how they are doing, and in recent days they have also adopted some measures to stay fit. But as you know that with all the limiting conditions, they are growing very fragile. After opening this channel, they are inspired and they are encouraged because they are seeing the light of hope. So they are looking forward to the next step of the rescue. Currently, for Section 5, we have 11 people trapped. In general, they are surviving quite well, but some of them are hurt. And we are staying in contact with them, and according to their request, we have lowered the first batch of medical supplies to help them out. For the oxygen supply and also the daily necessities, we have guaranteed the channel, and we will continue to keep a close eye on them. Next question, please. I'm from CNS. Yesterday afternoon, we heard that from the channel number 3, there were responses coming from underneath the surface. Could you please share with us the whole process of the knocking on the drilling pipe? The response from the channel 3. After connecting with the tunnel by drilling machine number 3, we have applied a certain rhythm in knocking on the drilling pipe. Because there's a depth of several hundreds of meters, so you must know that after knocking on the drilling pipes, there will be certainly the echoes coming back. And we have selected 2 experienced medics from the hospital, and they are using their medical tools to capture that response. In the very beginning, after knocking on the drilling pipe, we have received no signals of response. But later on, we have received stronger and stronger responses from the depth. And everyone's strongly encouraged because finally, after several days of continuous work and rescue, we are in touch finally with our trapped miners. So in that particular moment, we are really inspired and encouraged. And later on, we have followed our previous plan step by step. We are continuing with our rescue work, and everything is based on science, so that all in all we can make sure that the opening of this channel is very safe and is guaranteed. Next question, please. Good afternoon. I'm from Dazhong Journal. We know that you have encountered a lot of difficulties in the removal of the obstacles, and you're also accelerating with these efforts. So what is the status quo with the removal of the obstacles, and what will be the future challenges waiting for us? and what will be the measures in response? I'd like to give the floor to our experts here. As is mentioned by Mr. Mayor, we have encountered quite a lot of difficulties in removing the obstacles. We have encountered an obstacle of a thickness of 7 meters, and on the 15th of January, we have already removed that obstacle. Currently, we have 4 steel bars and also 1 pipe for the electricity, 2 pipes for the evacuation of the water, and also the steel ladders and also the other glasses. So after the blast, all the materials in place were destroyed to debris, and they are intertwined and also stacked one to another. This caused a great difficulty for us to continue with the rescue work, because in the place there were obstacles in metal and some others are non-metal. So we have to make different solutions. For example, for the metals, we could use a machine to cut them, but for other debris materials, we have to come up with other ideas of removing them. At a depth of 300 meters, still some obstacles are in the way to block the further moving of our hoisting cages. Facing this challenging situation, we have adopted several measures. First of all, we have mobilized more talents to come to the place. For example, we have invited more experienced talents from the companies in the province. We have clarified the responsibility of each one, and we also have the 4 to 6 working shifts. Another thing is that we have upgraded our rescue plans. In the very beginning, we have used the hoisting cages to send people down, and now we have used another machinery to move down. We have 2 layers, 1 plate for the protection, another plate for the work. For the small objects, we will use the hoisting cages to lift them up, but for the bigger objects, we will use the hoisting plates to carry them up towards the surface. With the plate, this means that the surface for holding the personnel grows larger. At the same time, we have used more ropes to lift those hoisting cages. This has also helped to increase the efficiency of this work. At the same time, we have also upgraded the list for the machineries and also the tools in need for different types of the hoisting plates. All of them arrived on the site by midday today. Currently, we are clearing up the depth of 350 meters for the remaining of the obstacles. I believe that we will make quicker progress with the new machineries on the site. I'd like to add up one more thing. For the question given by CNS, I'd like to add up some more information. For the whole process of knocking on the drilling pipe, as one participant in the rescue process, everyone has a personal feeling. I'd like to share my point of view and also my feeling. Sorry for disturbing on the next question. I'm from the geological investigation team from the Ministry of Emergency Response. I'm also the person in charge for the rescue work. By midday, on the 17th of January, about 5 meters to realize the connection between between the tunnel and the channel. That means 5 meters away from connecting the channel and the tunnel. I was so nervous because I was not sure by then if we can successfully make that connection. And then we have a lot of people waiting for us, the officials from the province, from the municipality, and also the local people. We are not sure if we were moving towards the absolutely correct direction, whether we have gone skew or not. So that's why I felt so nervous. I myself have directed this rescue team to make multiple drilling holes, and we have rescued more than 300 trapped miners in the past. But this time, for this blasted gold mine, the situation is different. First of all, this geological layer is very thick. Because we have a very thick layer of the granite, it comes from the eruption of the volcanoes. And in this thick layer, we can find a lot of useful mines. As is mentioned before, for that volcanic layers, they are very thick and they are very hard, so it's very difficult for us to go through the layers. Because that layer comes from the eruption of the volcanoes. And besides, we also have the sedimentary rocks. They are relatively soft. But the majority of the layers, they are from the eruption of the volcanoes, so they are very hard to go through, and they reach to the hardest degree with the degree number 12, so that is the most difficult to go through. And when we are going through that layer, we have 2 water-holding layers at a depth of 420 meters and also at a depth of 120 meters. Those 2 water-holding layers have also caused a lot of headaches for us. For example, they would trap our drill, and people are talking about the reason why those drills are stopped. Because we are going through the crushed zones, and with the water coming, after going into this crushed zone, sometimes when we go into the void, and then there's water pouring in, bringing more rocks and stones inside this area, so immediately the drill would be blocked. So that's why the 2 extra water-holding layers are bringing more difficulties to our drilling work. And with the geological conditions, it's quite easy for us to go skew. Every time when we encounter this kind of geological conditions, it's for sure that we will go skew. For the 5 channels going deep, 4 of them have gone skew. So once going skew, we have to correct the direction of our drills. We have already the technologies at hand, but still it takes some time to go back on track and go back to the correct direction. We have waited for 15 minutes. It takes 15 minutes more to go through the last 5 meters. As the director, the chief director in the place, I was really nervous because I was not sure if we could finally break the last barrier and reach to the tunnel. If we cannot reach to the tunnel where live those trapped miners, then we will let down everyone, including the officials and also the local people, and more importantly, the family members of the trapped miners. So we would fail everyone. So by then, I even had no courage to turn back my head. I know that everybody's looking at the drill, and I have also made a mark on the drilling pipe with a chalk
就是正好是个钻头要
With
吐汗
that
的时候。
mark
一寸一寸的
going
往下，
down to the
我就感觉
surface,
这个心啊一紧一紧的往下
I
降。
know that we
突
are
然到了这个
approaching
时候呢，
towards
这
the
个它这
channel.
个位置呢，
Until then, I was still not
这
sure
这
whether
个
we
钻
could
杆呢是
succeed.
开始呢缓慢的是自动下垂，
And
而且这个井口呢
gradually, I
也不往
noticed
出
that the
反
drilling
这个
pipe
气气也不
is
反渣子，因为咱们这是空气
going
钻井
down
空气钻应该把
automatically.
下渣子要让空气吹出
And
来。
because it's
这
a
个时候突然停止了，
air-based
哎呀，一下呢
drilling
我就感
pipe,
觉
and suddenly there's
这个时候
no
呢，突然
air
有一
popping
个
up,
有一个人在问
and
我，
I
他说杜总
immediately
是不是
realized that
透了？我回
it's
头一
connected,
看，拿了
and
个摄
someone
像
asked
机，是一位
me,
媒体朋友，我就告诉他，我说
is
打
it
透了。
working
他
now?
那么下一步干什么？
Have we
我突
made
然
it?
回过神来，对了，
So I
我是来
nodded,
干什么的？
telling this
下一
journalist
步我到底要干什么？
that
我突然我就一点含糊都没有。
we
下一步
made
我
the
就是要跟吉
connection,
祥人
we
联系，
succeeded.
对吧？如果吉祥人要
So
跟我联
I'm
系呢，
asking
我紧接
myself,
着呢，我就
what
根
is
据
the
我
next
指挥
step?
把这个
So
钻井
according
给
to our
对
plan, the next step
拿起那
is
个锤子
to
你就尽快的赶紧
set
敲那
up
个
the
钻杆儿，
communication,
让吉祥人
try
看有
to
没有回应。
contact with our trapped
一
miners.
开始呢，
So
先敲了
immediately, I
两
picked up
下
a
一组
hammer
的这个
to
东西，
knock
间
on
隔
the
2
drilling
分钟
pipe.
咣咣敲2下，间隔
I
2 分
made
钟，
two
再敲2
rounds
下，
of the
间隔2
knocks.
分钟，一共就
First,
持续了4次，坚持了10
2
分钟。
knocks, and then 2 minutes
没有回
later,
应。
another 2
这个
knocks.
时候你说人心里怎么想？
And we have waited in total 4 minutes.
很紧张。
There's no signal of response coming back to
你
us.
像咱们被控的矿工呢，
So I became nervous
发生什么
again.
事儿，对不对？因为按照
If
这
we
个黄
cannot
金救援
receive
时间呢
any
是72
response
小时，
from
这些人呢
underneath
还有跟咱们联系，
the
吉祥人活
ground,
动能力还是有的。现在已经167
then
个
we
小时了
cannot。
这
be
167
sure
个
whether
小
those
时以
people
后
are
这些
still
人还
alive
能不能
because
走
we
得
know
更
that the
下来？我的
golden
判断
period
呢
for
就是
the
这
rescue
个
is
打透了以
72
后，
hours,
这些
and
人
now
呢
it's been
所
more
谓
than
这个因为
1
是气气
week
空气打
after
的
making
气
the
气
connection
吹
between
的
the
比较
tunnel and the
他们呢
channel.
还暂时还到不了跟前来。我估计这
We
10分钟时间呢，
cannot
他们
make
体力呢有
sure
点不支。那么
whether
这10分钟慢慢往跟
they
前爬，还
are
是来
still
得及。
alive.
那么这时间大家
And
都在
then
紧张的时
I
候，好多人
told
都在眼睛
myself
里在
that
看
maybe
着。
it takes
我
some
回
more
头看
time
了
for
看呢，
people
我
to
的心
come
里都有点发
near
毛了。
the drilling pipe.
哎，这个时候
And
呢，
because
我就
those
说
people, they must be
继续
very
过了
weak
10分钟
and
呢，我就
fragile,
让这
so
个队长
it
继续
may take
敲打5下
some
一
more
组，
minutes for them
一
to
组
go
敲5
closer.
下，
And
然后
now
敲一下试
we
试。
make
结果
5
敲了5
knocks
下
a
以后呢，
time.
有回应了。
So after
但是
making
不敢
this
肯定，因为吉祥有
5
些
more
声音呢，
knocks,
咱
we
也不
have
能听。
received one
第二次我就
response,
再
but
敲
we were not sure by then.
5下
And
敲
then
完
we
以
made
后，
a
底下呢
second
是
round
也
of
是
5
回应
knocks.
了5下，我就转过身来，
And
我
then
给大
we
家
heard
宣布，
5 knocks in response.
了。
So I turned around
这
to
个
the
时候呢，大
people
家呢
waiting
鼓掌
around.
热烈鼓
I
掌
told them that
就
we
就
have
这个
received a response from underneath the surface,
我
and
还清楚了有
everyone
欢呼
starting
声。
to applaud very hard.
哎呀，这个时候
And
呢，
people
我
were
的心情
also
呢，就
cheering
感觉呢，这一件事情
very
就吉祥了
loudly,
终于
and
跟我
I
们
felt
这些
that
被控的矿工朋友们联系上
we
了，
could be
对不对？
relieved
虽然我们还没有通话，但是我
because
们
we
联系上
have
这个时候不能再
established that
久等了，
line
我
of
说再联系
communication
一
with the
下，
people,
咱们就
even
回撤
though we have
把
not
这个
yet
钻井呢
the
就赶紧撤出来
establishment of the
就连续
telecommunication
敲了9
lines,
下，敲了
but
9
so
下以
we
后，
could
也是很
lift
清晰的
this
声
drilling
音，9
pipe,
下传上来，
and we
很有
have
节奏。
also made
我说
9
再敲
very
9下，
clear knocks,
又
and
敲了
then
9下，这9下呢，
afterwards
又
9
是
very clear
传上来。
knocks
不
coming
过
back,
这9下
and
呢，
another
因为
round
离
of
得
9
远
knocks,
可能
and
还没听
also
到。
9
我这很
knocks
清楚的，这9下的最
coming
后
back.
3声呢，
Very
不弱
clearly, I
我说
heard
这别敲了，
the
别
9
敲了
knocks,
他们已
but
经
the
已经知道他在下面了。但是这个
3 last
下面呢，
knocks
有人说再敲22下，看
grew
看怎么
very
样。我说22下什么目的呢？22下，我想啊，几下可能
Some
人
other
有
people
些
are
人数
proposing
再敲吧。
22 more
然后敲
knocks.
22下没有回应，我说行了，现在底下的人员这个体力已经不支了，咱们不要再跟他们再联系了。
And
知道
after
已经有人
making
跟
the
咱们联系
22
上
knocks,
赶紧集
no
合。
response.
这时候把钻杆
At that
提起来
moment,
以后
we
呢，
could be
我
sure
观察
that
了一下，
people are
钻
still
头蹬起来
alive,
了
but
有一节
maybe
钻
they
杆
had no
有
more
石头砸击的声音，
strength
那
to
就
make
更进
an
一步证明
extra
了我的判断，
22
底下呢
knocks
是
back.
人为的敲击
And
的
we
声 声音
also
给我
hear
们
the
传递
knocks
了我们
made
在
by
机
the
下还在的信号。所以这个我
stones,
就我在
and they are sending
这个
back the signals of life to us. So immediately I make the decision that we have to continue with our plan. We have to lower down the first batch of food to the people so that they would be sustained with the food, and we could also continue with our process. So first step is to let down our casing pipe to give the people the food and some necessities. So that is what we did. We lowered down via the pipe some food to the trapped miners. So throughout the process, I have had my second precious experience that will never be forgotten. This is the second time of this type, and I had a previous one also in a province. And now we know that we have found the people, but how can we get them out of the tunnel? For this goal, my colleagues and I should continue our efforts, just as the previous accident with Pingyi coal mine, this time with our gold mine. We will continue to work very hard, at the same time in collaboration with the provincial headquarters of the emergency response. We will spare no efforts to save the lives of our gold miners trapped underneath. Thank you very much. Just now, our Chief Director, Mr. Du, shared with us his feelings. And now let's continue with our Q&A session. I'm from Shandong Television and Radio Station. As is mentioned before by the mayor of our province, we have mobilized the best talents and professionals to Qixia City. Currently on the site, for the machineries and also the rescuers, what is the status quo of those people and machineries? I'd like to take that question. As is mentioned by our mayor, after the accident, the Department of the Emergency Response has made the decision to make all the sacrifices possible to save the lives of the trapped miners. We have mobilized the best talents and also the most advanced equipment to accelerate our rescue. In terms of the experts, we have mobilized the rescue center from the Ministry of Emergency Response and also from the Shandong Gold Group. We have experts coming from multiple channels. Many of them have participated in the previous rescue works of different places in China. And those experts, they have realized the synergized actions, and they have also contributed their wisdom. And it's proven that they have played a very important role in giving the technical assistance to our rescue work. We have also mobilized the teams from the Shandong Coal Group. In total, we have 15 professional teams, as well as the Yantai Municipal Firefighters team. Until now, we have 532 rescuers on the site and also more than 30 volunteers in the place. After the arrival of all the rescue teams, they have not wasted any second, and they are working around the clock in order to save those lives as soon as possible. And I'd like to say something more about 2 units that have sent their rescue teams. For the emergency response team from the National Mine Group, they are a team of heroes. They have participated in the rescue of workers in the previous accidents in China. Those were the major accidents that we have encountered in the coal mine and also the gas mines. They are very professional at solving the problems, and they have succeeded in making a connection for the life trapped underneath the surface, and also for the rescuers of Hebei province. Before the rescue, they have braved the difficulties brought by COVID-19, and they come to the place with the proposal of a very good plan of rescue, and they are also a pillar in supporting the rescue. As of our volunteers, everyone is working towards the same goal, and we would never let any minute skip by. We have a volunteer coming from the city of Laiyang. He's been working on the site for 80 hours non-stop. Despite the fever, he stuck to the position, and he's been transported away by the ambulances to do a nucleic acid test, and it's tested negative, so he's back to the site for the continuous work on the rescue site. And we have also mobilized the most advanced machineries to the number of 833 sets. For example, we have the drilling machines and also the evacuation machines to evacuate water from underneath the surface. Today we have made 2 charts in order to give you better explanation about the status quo. So, dear friends of the media, I'd like to brief you the latest development of our rescue. So with the sketch map, it will be easier for you to understand. So it will help you to know better about our work of rescue. For this map is the layout. This is the shaft. Our vertical channel. Our trapped miners are inside this shaft, and around it we have several channels in green color. Those are the tunnels, and we are making the drills towards our channels. They are number 1, number 2, number 3, 5, 4, 6. And we are also catching up with number 7 and number 8. And number 8 is the most distant one. And this is our progress chart. This is the shaft. This is the shaft. This is the vertical pipe where our miners are trapped. This is the altitude level 0 meter, 315 meters under sea. It's section 5, and for the depth of 637 meters, it's section 6. The location of the blast is at a depth of 246, starting by the opening of this tunnel. After the blast, there are shocking waves going up and down, damaging largely all the facilities and materials inside. And in phase 1, we are using the drills to send the fresh air. We have reached a depth of 390 meters, and then we can no longer go deeper. And then we have adopted the second way is to use the hoisting cage to arrive to the first point. at a depth of 180 meters, and second point is also the current point at a depth of 340 and 350 meters. So around the depth of 350 meters, it's going more and more difficult. And at the current depth, we are still away from the depth of 586, more than 2 meters to go to reach the section 5. Now we are here with the removal of the obstacles. We have encountered several rounds of obstacles at the depth of 180, and then at 340, and now at 350. We have 8 drilling machines. We have 2 colors. For the blue colors, reaching towards section 6, that is to reach the depth of more than 400 meters. And for number 1 drilling machine, the connection has been made. We have already reached the section 6, but we have not yet received any signs of life. And for the machine number 5, we're also reaching towards the minus 400 meters, and this machine number 5 has gone skew. We are also changing for a new drill now in order to strengthen our support for number 6. We are adding up number 7 and number 8, 2 extra drilling machines. They are for the evacuation of water. But as we know, the deeper you go, the more water you will have. For number 2, 3, and 4, and 6, they are reaching for minus 350. For the machine number 3, we have already reached to the tunnel, reached to the shaft. For the number 2 machine, it's being blocked. So among all the 4 machines, number 3 is the first to reach the shaft. And then to a depth of 540 meters, that means 42.1 meters away from our tunnel. We asked the number 4 to stop temporarily, because if we give 2 drills at the same time at the same level, it may increase the amount of flooding water. So currently, we asked the number 4 to wait at a distance of 42.1 meters away from the tunnel. If needed, this drilling machine will continue to a deeper location, because 42.1 meters is quite easy to break through. And for number 6, it reached a depth of 360 meters. So as you can see, several drilling machines are going deeper, and it's really a race against the time, and we have to win this battle. So with these 2 charts, I hope that I'm helping you to have a better understanding about the current progress with our rescue with the drilling. Due to the time limit, I'd like to take the very last question for today's press conference. I'm from Yantai Journal.
关于网上流传22人全部获救的消息是怎么一回事？请解释一下，谢谢。
We heard rumors on the internet. People say that all of the 22 miners trapped are rescued already. What is that? First of all, as is mentioned before, for the Section 5 and Section 6, we have already the updates from the authorities. We have 11 trapped miners with Section 5 and 1 more with Section 6. And for the status of the other 10 is still unclear. So the rumors about the 12 rescued workers, they are false. We really hope that we have already rescued the 22 trapped miners, but not yet.
花絮，可能是当时造成了一些误解。主要是
Maybe during our process, there's one information that has caused some misunderstanding.
纸条里因为当时有
Because we have already received a note from underneath the
井
surface,
下22人，
and in the message,
说实话，大家
we noticed that
太紧张，也太盼望
people
有
say
好消
that
息传来。
we have
当
22
念到
trapped
这句话的
miners.
时候，可能有的同志误
So
认
when
为
we
22人，
read this
都获救了。
information out,
因此呢，当时
some
现场
people are
大家情绪
too
非常高涨，
excited about the note received,
因此可能是在
and
这样一
they
个
have
情绪点上和一个
misread
氛
the
围下
information, maybe against that circumstances. With that kind of excitement, some people misbelieved that all the 22 trapped miners are
现在的
rescued.
人数的情况
Because
是
I was on the site, I know what was going on, but for the exact number of the
提问
people,
环节就到这里。
they are still trapped, and the exact number, please just follow the information we have delivered.
对救援进展做了大量
So, friends of the media, you have stick to your position, and you have
向大家的
also
辛勤付出
distributed
是最衷心的感谢。
trustful information to the public. I'd like to say thank you for your hard work moving forward. Our headquarters for the rescue will continue to try our best to rescue all the lives now trapped in the gold mine, and we will also keep you updated about the further progress with